Well, chestnut-collared Longspur is in decline, sharp decline in this province. Emily Putz is from Nature Saskatchewan. They're keeping a close eye on this, and we want you to be aware of it as well out there at home. Emily, thank you for doing this. First and foremost, maybe a reminder of what you guys do at Nature Saskatchewan for us.
Yeah, so Nature Saskatchewan is a provincial nonprofit. So we work on the Stewards of Saskatchewan programs with landholders, so landowners and land managers that have species at risk, to conserve and monitor the populations, as well as we take sightings from the public to help monitor as well.
So now you've noted that the chestnut-collared Longspur is in decline in this province. Tell us about this beautiful creature.
Yeah, so it's one of our most vibrantly colored grassland specialist birds. So it nests right in native prairie. We don't have much native prairie left in the province. We only have around 13% of what was originally here. And the chestnut-collared Longspur within that native prairie requires a very specialized habitat. So it's got an even smaller chunk of that 13% to use. So it is on the decline, mainly due to habitat loss.
How do we restore that? How do we bring them back in bigger numbers?
So one of the things that we can do to help is to keep that remaining habitat there. So it's really hard to restore once it's lost. So it's important to keep what's left on the landscape. So this guy in particular, he requires, historically, he would use areas that have a natural wildfire cycle go through, or they would follow the bison herds from spot to spot where it was gray short. So they require very short grass. So these days, what they use instead are, of course, areas that have been managed and grazed with cattle. So they rely very heavily on our ranching community, who are great stewards of the land. So they kind of fall around the cattle herds. So they require areas that have been grazed lower.
How do you come to this determination for these different animals that they're in decline? Is there a spreadsheet that you guys are constantly monitoring?
So that's actually a federal listing. So we're a nonprofit, so we're kind of the boots on the ground that monitor the population here in the province. All of our data gets filtered up through the system right to the federal recovery team, and then they make the determination based on data right across the country. So federally, it is listed as an endangered species. So that was just a few years ago. It was uplisted from threatened to endangered. And this year it's kind of a highlight species because it was also recognized as Birds Canada's 2025 Avian Ambassador. So we're kind of doing our part by also putting a spotlight on these guys, since they are one of the targets for our Stewards of Saskatchewan programs.
Emily, thank you. And as you heard there, they are not for profit, which means they do rely on your support. So naturesask.ca for more information there.
Thank you.